September or October 19th, 2015. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late, but to start the agenda, let me announce that I'm the chairman for today, and Matthew Graham is a member, and Glenn Fowler is a member deciding cases today. So alternatives are Lance Morris and Mr. McKinley. First item on the agenda is any comments from the board members? Seeing none, staff? Okay, and assessor.
Just one slight one, Mr. Chairman. In speaking with the clerk this morning, and prior to adopting our annual calendar, I did some research, and our meetings are typically held on the third Monday of every month, obviously, but that's actually adopted in our bylaws, and it's something we can change. And for the staff involved in hearings, there's been a recent urge to maybe move that hearing to every third Wednesday in order to accommodate more work case prior to showing up. So during today's adoption of the annual calendar, I'd like to respectfully request that we start to consider for this coming year for our assessment appeals hearings to do it every third Wednesday rather than every Monday. I think the clerk is in agreement if I'm not speaking for her, but it would work better for her and staff involved in the hearings.
Okay. I'll poll the board first. Any comments from the board? Is that okay?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Fine. Okay. Staff?
It should be fine. I spoke with the clerk about it. County Council has a few boards that they advise, so we want to make sure that it doesn't overlap too much with others, and
activities.
Also that the room is available. I think it's okay. I think it's the second and fourth that the Planning Commission meets, but I'm not sure. So we'll just need to be.
And if this is as of the first of the year, would you mind if we took a month to make sure there's no conflicts?
Absolutely not. I think in talking with the clerk this morning, it may be something too that actually needs to be adopted by the Board of Supervisors as well, since it is in our bylaws.
Yes.
So maybe something that would take a little bit of work to ensure that it's written properly and done the way it should be done.
That'd be fine. Let's go ahead and take it under advisement and make a decision next meeting. On the agenda, basically, Lactalis America, are there a representative here from them?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and if that's the case, if it's okay with the assessor, we'll go down the agenda. Is there any other changes?
None.
Okay. Then let's have you come forward.
Wait, excuse me. On the last meeting, didn't we have an election of officers?
I thought, I was told we did.
Huh?
Yes, that we were supposed to have.
Okay, well, and it wasn't continued to now?
Right.
That I didn't know.
Was
It's
continued
on
to.
number 2.
Okay, it's number 2 on the agenda. I'm sorry. Yes, if that's the case, then let's bring it back to the board. And basically, do I hear any kind of a motion from the board regarding the chairman and vice chairman?
I move that we accept the same people in those offices for this next period.
And that's okay. Good. All right. So we have a motion to accept the nomination of Georgia Zunion chairman and Lance Morrison for vice chairman. Is there any other discussion? Okay. Do I hear? Then let's go ahead and poll the council or vote simultaneously as to. Do we have a second? You seconded.
I seconded.
Yeah. We have a motion and a second. Then all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you very much. The went right over that item, and we went directly to the calendar, and we're going to go ahead and take that under advisement for a month or so, and make a decision next meeting. Now we're at agenda item number 4, and your name is Jason Morris?
Sir, that's correct.
Okay. Okay, Jason, if I'm not mistaken, this is a
Can I close this?
continuation. Is this a continuation, or are we, which way did that go last time?
I believe we presented a fair amount of the case in the last hearing. However, 2 items were requested, one by the assessor, one by the board. Just to give you an update on this,
Okay.
what we'd like to do is,
Well, at this point, let's go ahead and have the clerk read in again your case, and also she needs to swear you and the assessor in.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in the matter now pending before the Assessment Appeals Board is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do. Please state your name for the record.
Jason Morris, Ernst & Young, agent for the applicant.
Myra Padilla, auditor appraiser.
Tim Kokendorfer, Chief Appraiser.
Tom Beagle, Chief Auditor Appraiser.
I'm going to go ahead and read the
Yes,
application.
please.
Application number 2013-00420. APN number 230110014. Application number 2013-00420. APN number 230110014.
Okay, this is a continuum, and we were looking for some additional information. Go ahead and present, if you could, that additional information for us.
Sir, that's correct. During the last case, we presented a fair amount of the case. However, 2 items were identified that the assessor and the board would like to look at. One was the income and expense data for the property. We were able to provide that to the assessor last week. It took a long time to find for the client because the plant has been closed for several years, but we have provided that. The other item was the closing information related to the sale. There's some updated information there. The sale was pushed back. During the August 17th hearing, I testified that it was expected to close at the end of August 2015. The buyer experienced some financing issues related to the sale. They are temporary in nature, and the plant is expected to close at the end of this month. I apologize to the board for not requesting a longer postponement to allow for this to happen. I didn't know this would take so long, but apparently it has. So what I'd like to request the board's indulgence on is perhaps a 3-month continuance to get this information closed, or maybe the plant falls out of escrow and then we can present the offer sheets and things like that as well.
What was the second issue?
The second issue was the plant is for sale. After it closed in November of 2013, it was put on the market. It's finally in escrow. So the plant is closing. We expected it to close at the end of August, and I testified to that at the August 17th hearing. Again, the buyer had some financing issues that pushed the sale back, and now it looks like it's going to close at the end of August. So,
just so that we're clear, who heard that case?
I was just going to suggest that it's not the current board.
Part of it, yes.
But were you on the board at the time, the 3 members? Myself, and I believe it was you.
And I think it was
Lance
me.
Morris.
Lance, I think.
Okay. So if I could let the assessor comment as to whether you have an objection to a postponement or actually a continuum, because we heard the case already. I have an issue? No objections.
As long as we get that second part of information we're looking
It might
for.
be helpful, too, if the board would suggest that Mr. Morris go ahead and provide us with a copy of, there's got to be a purchase agreement that exists for this plant someplace. I can't imagine someone would spend that kind of money without having a prearranged setup.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
If that's the case, we could very easily figure out what equipment was included in it, how much they're paying for it, and
And you could prepare yourselves for the meeting.
maybe resolve the issue prior to ever having to have another hearing about this.
But let me remind everyone, what we're doing is we're seeing something that's happening current as a reflection on what the value was at the date of the application.
yes, sir.
Yeah. So, in effect, I have no objection, as the board or the staff.
I don't have an objection.
Okay. Would that be okay with you? Now, basically, when you have a transaction before, just so that we make sure everybody's on the same page, prior to the close, it's a private information situation, the assessor asking for that documentation ahead of the close? Or do you think it might close in the next month and then give them, whichever way it is, just give me an idea of what you think?
Sir, my hope is that it does close at the end of October, as they've indicated. My
then
understanding is the financing is
You would have no problem then to...
absolutely. If it closes,
okay.
then it's public.
In
record.
other words, let's say by November 1st, you possibly could give the assessor the information.
Could we get just a little bit of time, just in case we get in trouble there?
November 15th.
Okay.
And that'll give you until whenever we postpone this, give you another 30 days or so.
But even Ms. Morris, if it doesn't close just because of purchasing financing, that at least gives us an idea of what the current market value is in the equipment. So maybe help
Yes.
us to resolve the case for you.
Sir, I completely agree.
And with
issue
the
here
exception
is,
of this matter here, then the assessor would keep it confidential until it closes.
Absolutely.
Okay, then we have no problem.
I'd like to know what the assessor has done to this point. Have you prepared your case on this?
Yes.
Yeah, this is something that we heard almost the entire case and then asked for it to be continued based upon a closing statement and some other documentation.
On that closing statement, or some statement, can you break out the sales price versus the machinery?
sir, I can't testify to that simply because I'm not involved in the transaction. My understanding
No,
is,
there's no.
Depending on which way it's written.
yeah,
We might have to throw darts on specifics, or it might be broken out.
At least we'd have a dartboard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
and if it falls out of escrow, I think we can agree to provide at least the seller's offer sheet with all the assets
I
involved.
show the allocation to the equipment.
Exactly, sir.
Yeah. Okay, then do I hear a motion to continue this, and what would be agreeable date?
I would feel very safe with January, but
January. That's fine.
that's okay with the board.
Yeah. And that January meeting is what date?
25th.
25th?
Assuming we don't make it a Wednesday.
Well, you know something? That could be a Wednesday change.
Hope so.
Okay, we'll see. 2016, I've never written that before.
Scary.
Anyway, we have a motion. Do I hear a motion and a second? Do I hear a vote on this? Let's take a vote.
Did we receive a motion? I'll make a motion that we postpone.
I'll second it.
Oh, I'm sorry. You make a
Make a
motion?
motion to continue it.
And Lance will make the motion, and
Second it.
Mr. Fowler seconded. We have a motion now and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Hearing none. It's continued to either January 25th or the 27th, whichever way we go as far as the change of our date.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, is there anyone here representing DirecTV?
Have a stipulation for that?
What's that?
Stipulation for that.
Stipulation. And let's just go through the calendar very quickly in case there's someone already here. It looks as though agenda item number 6 and 7 have been withdrawn. Is there anyone here representing Jess Ortega? What's going on there?
Mr. Ortega was an application filed by Weisgarver and Associates. It's a rural residence that we have assessed at $641,000. After review, it appears that it's worth all $641,000, and they have requested a assessed value of $300,000. So
And where does it stand as far as them showing up today?
we have sent them our response about suggesting no change to the assessment and have not heard from them since then. I assume it's an oversight since they have withdrawn on every other application they have today.
Okay. Have you heard anything from Mr.
No, I
Ortega?
haven't.
Well, in a situation like this, is the assessor recommending a postponement of this?
No.
You got that out of the way. Okay, we have basically someone on the agenda that's supposed to be here, hasn't notified us, and is a apparent no-show. Let's go ahead and handle that as we speak. Well, let me go down to the next one down. Leonard Worthkepler?
That's a
What's
withdrawal.
going on there?
It's a late-minute withdrawal from Weisgarver and Associates.
Oh, it is a withdrawal, okay. And Pavilion? What's going on there?
We exchanged an set of emails with Ryan in, I think, October, beginning of October. I believe it was the 6th. and requesting information to help address the assessment. Came to discover that the agent that filed the application no longer works for the company. We have not received a response for information, so it's much like the item number 7. We've made every effort to pursue it, but there's been no response from the agent involved.
Item number 8, you mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry, item number 8.
8. Okay. Well, has the clerk heard anything from Visalia Pavilion?
No, I have not.
Okay. And then the other 2 are withdrawals. So we have 2 failure to appear. We'll go ahead and take those first. Do I hear a motion regarding agenda item number 8 and 10?
Wait, I'm sorry, you're asking for
We're asking what we want to do with agenda item number 8 and 10, and they both been noticed. We're supposed to be here, haven't shown. So we would deny it for non-appearance?
I would make a motion for denial.
For non-appearance.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second, and is this for agenda item number 8 and 10?
8
Both
and
of them are
yes,
no.
items 8 and 10.
Okay. So we have a motion for agenda item number 8 and 10 for denied for non-appearance. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay, now we're down to, let's take the stipulation next for DirecTV.
We have assessment number 810-010-336. Have application number 2011-00190, 2012-00519, 2013-00369, and 2014-00104. DirecTV. Per the California Assessors Association Executive Committee, the set-top box valuation or chain to better reflect the life of the equipment, causing a value reduction for 2011, 12, 13, and 14. So here we have 2011, the new value, $2,849,053. 2012, value $2,937,600. 2013 is $2,774,321. 2014 value is $3,108,600.
I have a question. I only had 3 on for today. And was the other
Don't have 14.
14. I don't know. We have the application, but it's not on.
It's not on the calendar, but okay.
So we're just taking motion on stipulation for the application 211, 12, and 13, correct? Okay. Do I hear a motion to accept the stipulation read in by?
They're adding. I think it's okay to take the stipulation on the 14 one too, even though it's not on calendar. We can take it today.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Otherwise, we're going to have to bring it back.
Yeah.
So they didn't receive proper notice?
Well, they didn't get noticed?
I would assume since it didn't make it to the calendar, the clerk did not send proper notification.
But they signed the stipulation, or they agreed to the
I'm
stipulation?
going to defer to the chief auditor appraiser's answer.
We have it signed by DirecTV, so.
So I think it's already handled. I mean, basically, we just have to accept. We can accept a stipulation on that regardless of whether it's on calendar. I mean, we're not really handling it, but.
They've handled the stipulation,
They've
so therefore,
handled it, yeah.
if it's not on our calendar, we're still okay.
We just need to handle the things that are on our calendar, but it's okay that the 14 is on there as well.
Okay. If that's the case, why don't you read in? Did you read in the 14 too?
Yes.
Okay. So we have a motion on 4 applications then, correct? And we have a motion to accept all 4. Did we make that motion?
Yes.
Accept
That
all
motion
4
to
of the
accept all
applications.
4 applications.
And a second.
I'll second it.
Okay. Have a motion and a second on 4 applications, 3 of them on the agenda, and 1 of them that's been handled through the assessor. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're down to the withdrawal calendar. Item number 6 on the agenda, 7, 9, 12, 11, and 12, plus the withdrawal calendar as presented. Any other comments? Okay. Then do I hear a motion to accept the withdrawal calendar as presented?
I'll make a motion to accept the withdrawal calendar as presented.
And we have a second. Okay. All in favor of accepting the withdrawal calendar for agenda item number 6, 7, 9, 11, and 12, plus what is added on the list of withdrawals, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Then, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that we've gone through the agenda items. We do have one issue to take care of in closed session, and that is the assessment appeals for Certini.
Mr. Azunian, can we motion or vote on continuing the calendar?
Oh,
Since
we
it's
were
an
going to do that in continuing what items on the calendar?
The actual setting of the assessment appeal meeting calendar, you're going to take it under advisement about making it the third Wednesday.
We're going to do that for a month.
Right. We need to, can you vote on it?
Okay. So, all in favor of continuing the request by the assessor to change the date to a Wednesday instead of Monday, third Wednesday instead of Monday, do I hear a motion to accept the continuum?
I'll make a motion to accept that. Continue.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the assessor's request to change the meeting's date in January and beyond to Wednesday from the existing Monday.
I thought you were just continuing the decision.
All we're doing is continuing it.
Okay, it sounded like you were stating it, that you were approving the motion to
Well,
change it.
I was thinking that we maybe had to have a motion to accept continuing it.
Continuing it, but not to change it to Wednesday.
I see.
That's what you said, right?
To continue it to November's meeting so that we can look over dates,
Right.
make sure that we
Okay. So, do we need a motion?
The motion, yes, just to continue it.
Okay. Do I hear a motion then?
I'll make that motion.
And we have a motion and a second to continue the consideration of changing the date.
Thank you.
Okay? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Now, I believe that we're done with today's business. Is there any other items that the board would like to bring up? Staff and the assessor.
Just like to thank the board for their consideration on the Wednesday issue. It's a
Very good.
blessing.
Okay, hearing no other business before the Assessment Appeals Board for Tulare County October 19th, I declare the meeting completed. And we're now going to go into our closed session. And do we need a motion on this continuum? Okay. Are you ready? Okay. This is back in open session of the Assessment Appeals Board for Tulare County, October 19th, 2015. The issue regarding Santini assessment number 2013-00413- or assessment 2013-00414 and appeal number 213-00421. The board has discussed continuing this to November 16th, 2015. I'd like to hear a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I think, is it the 18th or the 16th? 16th. And also, if you can just make a motion to put it back on the regular open session calendar as well for hearing, as well as on for the closed session.
Okay. And the date again is November 16th.
Sorry.
Right. So the motion then would be to continue to November 16th, 2015 to reopen the assessment appeal applications that I've read in regarding additional information. So do I hear a motion to that effect?
I can't remember it now. I'll make a motion that we do the continuance, and I don't have it.
And reopen the meeting.
Reopen.
And do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. And who were the, it was just two of us.
Correct.
So it would be just Glenn and I. So in effect, then we've had the motion, all in agreement, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. So that is the only issue before the Assessment Appeals Board for closed session for October 19th, 2015. And the meeting is now adjourned.
Okay, well, thank you.